Wednesday, July 10th marks the start of the long legal process for the Boston Marathon bombings. The sole surviving suspect, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, will make his first court appearance to hear the charges against him read out loud. CCTV's Nick Harper has returned to Boston, where, away from the legal arguments, there's a sense of a city slowly returning to normal.
An ordinary day, nearly 3 months after a very extraordinary event. Boston's coffee shops and restaurants are once again full. But you don't have to look too far for reminders of the explosions that rocked this city. A shop next to one of the bomb sites remains closed for repairs. Small signs of a city still trying to cope with April's events. The two explosions on April the 15th ripped through the area around the finish line, killing 3 people and injuring more than 260 others. In the days that followed, as police searched for evidence, makeshift memorials sprang up to remember those involved. And while those memorials may now be gone, the memories remain.
I didn't know what to expect. I was really anxious when I walked up.
Koli Chekos was here the day of the bombings. This is the first time she's returned.
It was the most horrible day of my life, and it was the most horrible thing I've ever experienced. I just really didn't want to come back and feel the heaviness of what I experienced again, and the anxiety.
Marathon Sports was right next to the first explosion. 4 of their employees were injured, and it took several weeks to replace the shop floor and its windows. Here at the finish line is where the first explosion took place. The second one about 100 meters over my shoulder. And they usually keep the finish line sign painted on the road throughout the year. But of course this year there's an added poignancy. On Wednesday, the suspect Dzhokhar Tsarnaev will appear in court for the first time. He's charged with 30 counts, including using weapons of mass destruction. Law professor at Boston University, David Breen, says prosecutors have been eager to move proceedings along.
We're talking about something that happened 2.5 months ago, and we're already at the stage where he's had a preliminary hearing at the hospital, he's been indicted by a grand jury, and now he's facing the arraignment. There are rules in place to keep things moving along. We can't just hold people indefinitely pending a trial.
So while the courts wait, Boston itself is trying as best it can to move on. Nick Harper, CCTV, Boston.